Wow.
Spoiler alert for this film. The movie ends with Thanos snapping his fingers and the DC Cinematic Universe disappears. Sorry, I didn't mean to start this off by throwing some shade, but oh my god. So, this is the post-Geekout reaction.
For Avengers Infinity War.
They saw the title.
Yep.
And for anybody who hasn't seen a post-Geekout reaction before, it's not a review. I do have a review coming up probably tomorrow. It's going to be this weekend. And the reviews, they're spoiler-free. I think of everything I want to say, write it all down, and stand up there with the script, get everything, get clips in there, the whole 9 yards. Post-Geekout reaction is where we have the dog growling off screen, but it is also just a discussion between the two of us about the thing that we just saw immediately after we saw it. We just saw this film, and the reason we do these right after we see them is so you can really get, like, the raw emotions out of us. Oh god, there's so many. But that also means there won't be full spoilers. So, I joked about that spoiler in the beginning, everybody. The DC Cinematic Universe does not pop up in here.
No.
But yes, if you have never seen these, and you have not seen this film yet, and you don't want to be spoiled anything, tune out now.
Yes.
And in the weird chance that this might get flagged as not appropriate for all viewers or whatever that thing is that YouTube just randomly has their machine do, and it has to be manually reviewed, dude who is manually reviewing this at YouTube, just hit okay. You know my videos are fine. You've watched tons of them at this point. It's fine. Don't spoil yourself on this for your job. It ain't worth it. YouTube ain't paying you enough for this. So, yeah, this is, of course, the culmination of 18 other movies over the course of 10 years. This is something that has never been done before. Mm-hmm. This is not like, oh, it's the third part in a trilogy and they're each 3 parts. No, it ain't that. It's the... Sorry, I'm really just... I'll just go ahead and say this. We have seen every Marvel film in theaters, and after every Marvel film, it does not matter how good or how bad it is, the audience applauds when the credits start. Mm-hmm. Even at Thor the Dark World and Iron Man 2, people applaud when them credits start. Yay, credits. You could hear a fucking pin drop when these credits started. Not a sound.
That's because... spoiler alert, the heroes don't save the day because this is a two-parter.
Yeah, to the Russo brothers. Man, Marvel is the best at fucking with its audience. They really are, because they came out originally like 6 years ago almost, like long ago. They came out, like maybe not 6, but like 4 years ago they came out and they said, here's all of Phase 3 mapped out for you guys. And it ends with Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and Avengers Infinity War Part 2. And then the Russo brothers came on here after Joss Whedon got kicked out. The Russo brothers came on here and they said, we're changing it. It's no longer a two-parter. And we was like, okay, interesting. And they kept standing by it. It's not a two-parter. It's not a two-parter. But you film Avengers 3 and Avengers 4 back to back. You literally film them back to back, and Avengers 4 is still coming out 1 year from today. It's still coming out next year. How is this not? Because it ain't. It ain't. And I even kind of started to believe them on this. And you're watching this movie, and I was like, because I kept thinking, how on earth are you going to have Thanos get all these gems together in the course of one film? And as you're watching, it's like, holy shit, this is actually kind of doing it. And the pacing is really good. It's like, it's going step by step. This place, this place, this place. And like, it's all really kind of working to me. But then there came a moment in which it looked like it was the big climactic finale. Like the big, like, here's the final showdown. Here's where the heroes show up. Here's where the heroes win the day. And we saw this at the Alamo Draft House. And for anybody who doesn't know, the Alamo Draft House, they have waiters there and you can order food there. And the waiter came by and dropped off the check. And I went, we're not, but... No. Thanos isn't even here right now. He's still on another planet, and we're doing a big battle here, and Thor is getting his hammer made out in space. We can't be about to end this thing. And then I went, no. They're gonna do it. The lies, Russo brothers. Man, again, Marvel is the best at fucking with their audience, because spoiler alert for Guardians of the Galaxy 2, in Thor Ragnarok, they had Michael Rooker show up on the set of Thor Ragnarok in full Yondu outfit. So people would go, oh, this is how they're going to start to link it. Yondu is going to be in Thor Ragnarok. It's going to give okay, Yondu showing up in Thor Ragnarok. What happened to Yondu at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, the film that came out right before this one? He didn't make it through that one. And I was like, did you literally just get this dude, like, to sit in the makeup chair for hours, got him to pull that costume back out? Also, you could fuck with whatever guy was snapping a picture and trying to sell it online. And also, even in this film, there was, like, reports and, like, shots of Gwyneth Paltrow in a mocap outfit. The same mocap outfit that Tony wears when he's doing that.
Yeah.
And this came out right after the first trailer came out that showed Thanos beating the crap out of Iron Man. And a lot of people started going, oh man, yeah, it's the death of Iron Man. Then it was like Gwyneth Paltrow seen on the set wearing a mocap outfit, and it was like, oh god, we know she's been in the Iron Man suit from Iron Man 3. Could that be her fighting Thanos? Are you killing Pepper Potts? Is that what you're doing? Is this the big thing that gets Tony to go? Oh my goodness, what's going on? None of that shit happens in here. That was all a ruse. Oh man, even like the trailers themselves, because one thing that made me go, yeah, this can't be all one part, is because going into this film, I was like, they're lying. It's going to definitely be 2 parts. It wasn't until I was watching this, I was like, oh shit, this is moving at such a good pace. This could be 1 part. I thought there's no way it's 2 parts, because in the trailers, you never see Thanos with more than 2 Infinity Gems. You see him with the space and with the power gem. You see him at the big battle in Wakanda at the end, going up against Captain America, only got the 2 gems. You see him on space fighting Iron Man. That could also be the big battle. Only got the 2 gems. And it's like, no fucking way is this 1 part when he only gets I'm sure he gets some other ones throughout this movie, but we see these big climactic battles in the trailer and he's only got the 2 stones. No way are they going to have the big climactic battles and then he goes and gets the other ones. That would be crazy and horrible pacing. This film is like, nah, motherfucker. He gets those 2 gems at the start of the movie and then one by one, just tink, 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 just getting them along the way. And again, it's so good because every single time that he goes to a place, it's like, I remember that place, I remember that object. We did the Marvel Marathon before this, which we watched all the movies leading up to this one. And honestly, I got so exhausted by it. Because we didn't do this like pacing out over the course of months like many other people did. We did this in the span of a week. And we were exhausted. At least I was. And I was going into this thing thinking like, dude, shh. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Hey now.
Peach, calm down.
I want to see the movie too. Sorry about that. The dog has been super excited recently. She wants to go to the movie too. I went into this and I was like, did this kind of backfire on me, this idea to watch all these films? Because, ooh man, I need a break from the Marvel movies right now. And I'm going into the one I should be the most excited about. And at the opening of this thing in which you see Tony Stark, like talking to Pepper Potts about their wedding and all that stuff, and I just went, oh god, the emotions from 10 years worth of movies just came rolling up on me. Because I just went, oh, he's definitely dying. He's definitely not making it through this thing, or at least this and part 4, because that's the other thing. He's like, we gotta remember, you think some people go out in this film, there's still a whole other movie.
Part 4, you said? Or
yeah, the next one, the one that's coming out next year. Infinity War Part 2, no matter what they decide to call it.
Yeah, like, the 4th Avenger movie.
Yes, the sequel to this one. Yeah, because I was watching that, and like, there's that moment he's just talking to Pepper there in Central Park, and just all of a sudden, I just got a flashback to the beginning of Iron Man 1. I was just like, fuck, it has been a long road to get here, and this is the end. But then you get into all the other characters, and like whenever they go to a location, like when Thanos goes to the collector's place to look for the reality gem, I was like, I remember the end of Thor Dark World where they gave that to him, and I remember seeing this guy before, and we're back at nowhere. Remember Nowhere from the first one? Oh man, it's all just rolling back in together, and it's not like nostalgia. It's not, I get that reference. It's not that. It is, this is the long ass road that you as a moviegoer have traveled. And this motherfucker Thanos is burning it all to the ground. That's something we gotta talk about right now. Thanos is good.
Oh, he is.
Holy shit.
It's like, the thing is, like, there is so much build up to him, so it's like, there might be...
It would be the easiest way for them to drop the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we have been building to this motherfucker for, let's see, this thing's been around for 10 years, but Thanos has been around for 6. That's when he first popped up. And he's been popping up in Avengers. They had hints of him in other films. We saw him in Guardians, like, oh, you think you're a badass, Ronan? I'm a real badass. We got him at the end of Age of Ultron, like, grabbing that glove. I guess I'll do it myself. It's like, we have been building and building and building. It would have been so easy for them to even make a good villain, and we saw come out and was like, yeah, but was it really worth all that? Holy shit! God damn this guy! First off, the CGI, I was so worried it's gonna be like, yeah, it's just gonna look like a big CGI monster up there the whole time. Nope, you believe he is standing there. When he is talking to people, it's like, yeah, that's an actual physical thing standing out there. Some of his generals, like, they occasionally look CGI, like the big, like, Rocky-looking one, the big lizard guy with the claw hammer thing. He looked a little CGI from time to time, so okay, but Thanos, they put the money in on Thanos. He worked. And Josh Brolin, I kept thinking that, we've heard him in the trailers, and he's got like a weird, like, echoey raspiness to his voice. And I was like, I guess you're trying to say it sounds alien, but to me, that sounds like in a recording studio. It sounds like an echo effect in the recording studio. I don't like it. That's not in this. That's a voice coming out of this dude. And God, anytime that you get like a flashback to him, like the flashback of when he first like met Gamora and like adopted her, oh God, it's chilling. It's real. It's not just, I'm going to come in here and like murder, like I'm the Mad Titan destroying everything. He's looking at little Gamora and he's just like, oh, you're a real fighter. Hey, come here. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to teach you a lesson about balance. And in the background, her family's being murdered while he is just talking to her. It's like, God, it is chilling.
It's like, and that's how you do it. It's like, he knows when to be threatening and like when to be nice.
He's
like,
not just up there like, I am the big monster. Like, no, he's kind of human. I mean, he really is a very complex character. Because when you get his backstory, they don't go through his entire backstory. All they gotta do is just give you the premise of it. And that explains everything else. Like, basically, there's moments they go to Titan, and you see, like, the wreckage of the civilization that used to be there. And then it just goes, my city was a utopia. It was a paradise. But we were overpopulated. And we saw people starving. And I had a brilliant idea. Kill half the people. And they thought I was insane for that. And then they banished me. And you see what happened. And it's like, wow, the idea that you're returning to Titan, his home planet, and it's destroyed. And your first thought is, oh, Thanos probably did this. It's like, no, man. Thanos wants to destroy half the universe because this happened here. Yeah, that really does give you stuff, but you can tell, like, he, at that point in which he has to sacrifice Gamora, which, yeah, man, if you're still tuning into this and you're just like, yeah, the spoilers aren't here just yet, man.
Nope.
Yeah,
like, everything is spoilers from like the beginning on.
I have never meant spoiler warning more than in this one. Whoo!
It's like there's a reason why like hashtag Thanos demands silence is going on.
It's weird that nobody actually says that in this film, considering that the Ebony Maw is actually like the thing he does. Like he actually does that one point. Like I figured that'd be a line he says, but
maybe he'll say it in the second
part.
Could
be. Oh, he ain't in the second part. He got sent out the air dock. So.
No, I meant Thanos.
Thanos. Oh, okay. But yeah, that's always been kind of an interesting thing about Thanos in the comics, is that some people write him as, I'm the big space monster and I crush everything and I mean, but then there's other people like, no, he's actually got like emotions, he's got some depth to him, he's got like rationale behind what he does. They do leave out a big chunk of why he does everything that he does in the comics. The reason that he does all this in the comics is because he is in love with death. Like in the Marvel Universe, death is actually like, has an embodiment. It has an avatar, and it's this woman, and Thanos is in love with her, so he's like, I'm going to give you everything. I will destroy the universe for you. And like, it's kind of like this interesting story, because like, he keeps murdering for her, and then she's like, nah, it's alright. He's like, bitch, what do I have to do to give you? I destroyed half the universe, and you're still like giving me the cold shoulder. Like, that's
he's angry he got friend zoned.
He's that internet troll guy who was like, I really like this girl. And she said, no. So now I'm just mad.
I'm such a nice guy. I killed half a planet for her, and she still rejects me.
And here's the thing about it. None of that is in here. And in the comics, yeah, it's not a joke like we just made it, but it's smart it's not in here because a lot of audience members would be making this joke right now. Like, I know it is pulled off very well in the comics. In the movies, that would be a crazy ass thing to introduce. And we have a movie with a talking raccoon and tree in here. That would still be the thing that would make audiences go, wait, for real? That's the reason why he's doing all this? Yeah, a lot of people just wouldn't be able to buy it. This is a way better motivation for him, but you still get like the emotional stuff in there because Thanos does love something in this. Because, yeah, it's not like he's infatuated with death. He does honestly love death. In this, yeah, they didn't do death. He honestly loves his daughter, Gamora. In Guardians of the Galaxy, when he says, my favorite daughter, he wasn't making that up. In here, we actually get to see, he's not just like, yes, I told her everyone, including my favorite daughter, but she's my favorite because she kicks the most ass. No, he actually kind of does feel stuff for her. But this is a guy who's like, hey man, for the betterment of all the universe, we have to sacrifice things. Here, there's actually the moment where it's like, yeah, but are you willing to sacrifice something to you? Oh, fuck, he is. Oh.
And I noticed that, like, when it came to the Avengers, they didn't do that. Like, basically, like,
fuck.
Yeah, it was like most of the time, like, whenever, like, one of them had, like, an Infinity Stone and they were being threatened, like, one of their friends was being threatened, it's like, your friend's life for the Infinity Stone, and they just hand the Infinity Stone.
Man, that's really good.
Meanwhile,
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, meanwhile, Thanos is like, alright, fine, give me the Infinity Stone. Bye, Gamora.
I mean, he's crying about it.
Yeah, he is.
But I love that reveal because I think the entire audience got that same feeling, that moment of, oh no. Because, first off, the reveal of who it is that watches the Soul Stone, holy crap.
Yeah,
I audibly gasped.
Yeah.
You want to talk about taking stuff from the past, from the history of all these films, and bringing that shit back? When you get there and it's just the big cloudy smoke monster, in the comics, the original Nick Fury, like the white guy Nick Fury, they eventually, Marvel kind of realized, yeah, you know what, everybody likes the Sam Jackson Nick Fury now, and we've introduced him in our universe now as being the original Nick Fury's son. We gotta get rid of the original Nick Fury now. So they had him kill off the Watcher, and then the other Watchers decided, well, someone else has to now watch over all mankind. Punishment, and they just chained him up, and now he's this big cloudy smoke monster in a big cloak, and he's just forced to sit and watch at all times, and he can't do anything. This guy really looked like that, and I was like, this is gonna be a really weird Easter egg for the comic guys, in which like he removes the cow, and you see it's like just one guy with an old white guy with one eye, or someone's like, as a comic book fan, I would see what you did there, but as an audience member for this, it'd be kind of bullshit that you're just making up stuff just for the fans now, just for the comic book fans now. It would kind of stink for the movie-going audience. Holy crap, it is the best reveal. Oh, God, yeah. For all the people who's like, I'm not going to see this, I'm just interested in seeing what you guys have to say. It is the Red Skull. Yeah, remember at the end of Captain America, when he gets the Tesseract, the Space Stone, blast him into space? Yeah, the Tesseract, the Soul Stone, the Space Stone was like, someone's got to guard our other stones. Bye, guy who's been using me this whole time. Because I remember when the first Avengers film ended, and that guy turned around, we were in a theater full of people who were like, I don't know who that is. And like, so many people were like, it's the Red Skull, right? And I saw this online. I saw everybody like going, yeah, it's the Red Skull. After Captain America, he got blasted into space. That's where he is. And that's where he's been this whole time, right? Man, it's insane to me that it almost feels like that wasn't even planned. Like Marvel just heard everybody coming up with that theory after that who didn't know who Thanos was. And they were just like, oh, you know, that's a good idea. All right, we're going to take that. But goddamn, there's so much thought out in these films that I wouldn't be shocked if they did have that plan from day one. So yeah, that reveal was great, but then when they actually get up there and it's like, first off, I love he's not acting like the Red Skull anymore. It's like, no, he has seen all of space and time and like whatever consciousness, whatever remained of the guy on Earth, that dude is gone.
Hydra ain't shit no more, like seriously.
yeah, dude, when you have been guarding the Soul Stone all this time, all my thoughts about Hydra and World War II and all that stuff doesn't really matter. It's all just a hill of beans at this point. I don't even care about anything that I want to do anymore. But basically, he tells them the Soul Stone will only give itself to someone who sacrifices the thing they love most. And Gamora's just like, yes, you don't love anything. I have way. She's just talking shit to him.
Meanwhile,
and
like all the entire audience, like, no.
And again, it was like, for a second, I thought, is this when they're going to introduce the love-death thing? Is like death going to appear behind him, and then maybe he sacrifices himself or something, and then he comes out and he's like immortal or something? Like he sacrificed his connection to death. Like, again, as a comic book fan, I would get that. I'd be cool with it, but it'd be kind of bullshit from a movie standpoint because you haven't set any of that up. And then he just turns around to Gamora, and I felt myself, no. And like when he throws her off of there, we saw Nebula right before this escaping, and I thought, Nebula is gonna fly in at the last second and grab her. I know what's gonna happen. Nebula gonna fly in and grab her, and you don't even see her hit the ground. You just see her on the ground. I was like, oh God, holy crap. It didn't hit me that hard though. Like it still hit me hard. It was more of the reveal of, oh God, this is going to happen, that hit me hard. Her actual death didn't hit me that hard because I was like, Thanos really wants her alive. And if Thanos has both the Reality Stone and the Soul Stone, he can easily bring anyone back from the dead. Like, that's an easy thing for him to accomplish. But he doesn't do it. However, I wouldn't be shocked if at the end of this, when he wakes up in his, like, peaceful little town, which is another thing from the comics. Like, there have been other versions of the comic where, like, after Thanos went on his mad quest and he accomplished everything he wanted, he just kind of go to a farm because he was like, yeah, I've done everything I want. I'm just going to chill now. So I dig that at the end of this, like, that's where we see him.
Yeah, it's like he even said so himself. It's like, they questioned him. It's like, what do you do when you destroyed everything? It's like, I'm going to rest. Like, I'm
going to rest and enjoy a beautiful sunrise. Which, by the way, we saw this at the Alamo, and the Alamo will come up with special menu items based around the movies, which is an amazing thing they do, and I love that. But one of the items on the menu that I was looking at was the beautiful sunrise something. I was like, all these other things are references to other things. What the hell is this a reference to? It's not that much, so it wasn't that much of a spoiler, but when they said that, I went, oh, okay, so that's what that is, okay. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if, like, in the next film, like, he starts with Gamora there with him, but she has, like, no memory of her life before this or something. But also, you know, in the next film, the Guardians 3 isn't coming out until after this one. You know, at the end of that, they're going to bring Gamora, because they're bringing everyone back to life.
Yeah.
They kind of have to after in this one.
Yeah, it's like, especially after, like, the ending and everything.
The ending, yeah. Which, again, when I say they're bringing everyone back to life, some people probably won't come back.
Yeah, like, either that or they'll end up, like, dying for real in the second part.
Yeah, like, they bring them back, and, like, then they bring them back with the Infinity Stone, then Thanos kills them, and then they're like, should we use the Infinity Stones to bring them back? And then someone's like, no, man, it's too much power. It's, even if it means sacrificing someone to us. Or they could do a thing in which is like someone has to guard this, and then Tony just like becomes a cosmic being or something who watches over it forever. Like, he becomes Eternity, which in the Marvel Comics, Eternity is basically the embodiment of our universe as a living being, and it's basically just a large humanoid-looking character who his entire body is just space. That's it. It's a really cool looking, trippy 70s cosmic character. Yeah, I could see, like, the end of it being, like, someone has to do like, the entire universe is being destroyed, we have to completely start over again, and then, like, it starts over again, and you just see, like, one, like, Tony or Cap or somebody. Cap would make way more sense. But someone like that just kind of turned into Eternity, and the universe is now in them or something like that, but I'm getting way ahead. That's crazy out there, conspiracy theories. But yeah, like I said, this movie, it just goes from place to place to place, and every single time somebody goes someplace, there's, like, development. Like, when they go to stop him on Nowhere at the Collector's place. Hey, is that great? Like, oh shit, yeah, I remember all this coming back, and man, remember how fun that was? It's dead now. Remember when Howard the Duck was chilling in here at the end of Guardians, and Cosmo came up and licked him on the face? Oh, wasn't that fun? Everyone is murdered. It's gone. So it gets you that emotional hit. But he goes there and he kidnaps Gamora. At the beginning of this thing, he gets the Space Stone. He kills Loki, and he kills Heimdall. And Hulk is sitting back there like, things happen each time he goes to a place to get a stone. Gamora is killed when he gets the Soul Stone. Like, it is a great example of how to basically progress your story. Even though this doesn't have the most typical, like, traditional 3-act structure.
Right.
It does if you really want to break it down, because the third act is definitely the big battle of everyone coming together. But I'd say Act 2 kind of starts when the team assembles again, but that takes way longer to get to than a normal Act 2, but I'm totally okay with that. Like, movies do not have to be one thing.
No.
You can do 4-act, 5-act movies. You can do a 1-act movie. Movies can be more than one thing. That's one of my biggest things my biggest pet peeves is when people come in here and say like, well, a real movie doesn't do that. It's like, that's not a thing. A real movie is not a thing. It's art. It is a creation. It can be whatever you want. The definition of movie, it can be like 15 minutes. It can be 5 hours. It can have this many acts. And this is something completely unique. It's something completely new. As I said, we have never seen anything like this before, in which 18 other films over the course of 10 years, each of which focused on different characters on their own adventures, all led up to one thing. That's what this is. And yeah, the fact that it doesn't follow the traditional 3-act structure all that well, that's not a negative to it.
No.
Because this is something new. It's like the Vision. It's many other things stacked on top of each other to create a brand new life form. And it worked for this.
It's like, I admit, like, one of my biggest concerns was how are they gonna, like, cram all these characters into one?
Yeah.
But they did it very well because they spaced it all out.
Yeah.
Like, they have, like, this group on Earth, this group out in space, and they go back and forth between them fighting and trying to get the Infinity Stones. And
But that's also one of the reasons why this works as the culmination of 10 years worth of movies. They never have to stop at all and just go, hey, here's this character, and here's the thing that they're dealing with, and there's the thing that just recently happened to this guy. Thanos is the one character who really gets exploration and really get to see what happens to him. Aside from that, Scarlet Witch and Vision, you get a lot more on them. Which, thank God the Scarlet Witch dropped that accent. That, man, when we were talking about Age of Ultron, I kept saying, it's like, yeah, there's something about Scarlet Witch, like, she's one of my favorite characters in the comics, but for some reason, this just isn't doing it for me. I think they just haven't handled her that well. But in the back of my mind, I was like, I know one of the major reasons, but I don't want to say it, why she isn't working for me, is because that accent is bad. And yeah, man, I don't want to say that because that accent isn't going away. Everything else can be worked on. That accent won't go away. And this one, they were just like, no, that accent's bad. Get rid of it. Why does she not have... Who gives a shit? That's not the point. Okay, fine. I'm going along with that. Fine. Because, yeah, she's way better in this. Partly because, A, they get to explore her and Vision's relationship. I think that's really good in here. And also, she's actually allowed to act. She doesn't have to spend the entire time trying to figure out what words to say in this language that is imaginary and she just invented. Yeah, she doesn't have to cram 9 different European accents into one voice. Because Sokovia is not a real place. So, yeah, it works so well. And, like, she's still got a tiny accent there. It's like, good, fine, that's all you need.
Like, I like to think, like, maybe it's, like, because she's been talking to, like, Vision, who doesn't have an accent.
And she's, like, on the run and undercover, so it's like, yeah, that works. Like, there's reasons to explain it, but at the same time, like, they might really going to be asking that question. Again, no one really liked her accent, so the fact that it's gone is just like, I ain't gonna, so, yeah.
Honestly, the only thing that
do
really...
what you gotta do.
The only thing that bothered me was, Black Widow's constant hair change.
It's weird.
But, like, I guess the reason why is because Scarlet Witch has red hair, so having her with red hair would be...
Well, also, again, she is wanted now by whatever replaced.
Yeah, I guess so.
She's undercover. It's like, it makes sense in this film.
That would also, like...
But it's just the fact that she literally has had a different haircut in every movie that has kind of made us go, okay, what's the deal with this? But yeah, like, all the things that I don't really like about previous films, they admit they happen, but, like, they don't, like, stop. Like, the Hulk and Black Widow relationship, I thought that was awful. Here, when Hulk returns, they have that brief, oh, hey, Bruce. Hey, Nat. And that was it. And, like, you don't need anything else. Because Thanos is coming. We ain't got time for your relationship bullshit. And when we were talking about Age of Ultron in the big, massive movie Marvel marathon that we did all week long where we were talking about all these films, I said that Age of Ultron, I like Joss Whedon. I really do. The first Avengers film is everything that I like about Joss Whedon in one movie. Age of Ultron is everything I don't like about Joss Whedon in one movie. And one of them is this dude wants to cram relationships in where nobody wants them, and he did the worst job writing Black Widow in that second film, and the relationship that he forced in there between these two was just handled so poorly. And I just remember looking at that one moment, and that's all they say, and then they're like, we gotta go back to Thanos. And I just remember thinking to myself, how much worse would this film be? I don't even want to say bad, because he might have still pulled out a really good job on this. But, like, how many negatives would be in this film if Joss Whedon still wrote? Because he would have been like, no, that's an important thing, the relationship between the two. Shut the fuck up, no it is not. We got bigger things to deal with, and no one even liked that in the last film. Done. The Russo brothers handled this shit. And also, I keep thinking about just how this dialogue in the last film, the sense of humor in there, was so bad. Like, I love the sense of humor in the first Avengers film. And I like Joss Whedon's sense of humor in so many other things. But in Age of Ultron, it was so bad because he was just going nuts with it. And I just keep thinking, there's a chance that if Joss Whedon had still done this, they would have reined him in. He would have been like, all right, I went too far with Age of Ultron. I'm going to pull it back to where I was in the first Avengers film. I keep thinking, God, what if he had just hammered in that sense of humor again? Because this film, there's jokes.
Yeah.
There's plenty of jokes in here. But to all those people out there who constantly criticize again, I'm sorry fans out there, but I gotta bring this up. But for all the DC Cinematic Universe fans out there, who are like, well, Marvel, it's just too kiddie stuff. It's just too playful. It's just too fun. It's DC, they're doing the serious stuff. They're doing the real stuff. It's like, because you have no jokes does not mean that you're doing good serious stuff. In fact, many times, you need a joke in there to release the steam valve. Otherwise, the audience will be so beaten down, they'll just be like, I don't fucking care anymore. It will wear them the fuck out. This film does an amazing job of balancing when to put the jokes in there in order to make the audience go, okay, I can deal with all the heavy shit again. But also, the jokes and the big heroic moments, and like Thor's got a new hammer, he's going to be back to save the day and kick some ass, and we're doing this thing over here, we're doing this thing over here, this character's fighting that one, oh man, the comeback is beginning, all the jokes are happening, the team-ups are going great. It makes the end of this film so goddamn heavy.
Like a massive punch to the gut. Like not even a punch, like you get like slammed by a wrecking ball.
It is, yeah. Oh, you are, at the end of this film, you're Loki at the end of the first Avengers, just, and it's not even just the ending. There's punches to the gut like that all throughout this film, and if this movie didn't have any humor to it at all, by about the third or fourth gut punch, it'd be like, dude, I have built up a tolerance and I don't care. I've already puked up everything that was in my stomach because of you punching me in the gut so many times. There's nothing else in there. This movie punched you in the gut. Oh, hey, okay, I'm feeling a little bit better now. Oh, God, no. It's like, it's great the way they balance that in here.
You actually told me that you felt sick after watching it because you were just so emotionally drained.
Okay, yesterday I woke up and for some reason I just felt awful. Like, I felt like I was going to throw up yesterday morning. Like, I think I was just dehydrated because I drank some water and I felt better. And then throughout the rest of the day, I felt much better. I got a lot better. I woke up this morning, I was feeling like kind of groggy because I was up late editing videos. I got like 5 hours sleep and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. But I was like, that's just me being achy, whatever. And then I went to the theater and I was like, man, I really hope that I'm not getting sick with something. And then the movie starts and like I feel it all lift away. I am there in that movie. And then like at the tail end of this film, I honestly felt it all coming back and I felt like I was going to throw up all over again. I was like, oh, not now, man. Come on, I've been feeling so good. Don't let whatever this illness is like come back right now. And then it hit me. I'm not sick. Yesterday it was just dehydration. This morning it was just me being groggy from staying up too late editing videos. I feel sick to my stomach right now because of the emotional wreck that I am. This movie took me over its knee and just cracked me in half. The end of this film, because it's not in the comics. Yeah, we're getting to the very end of this now. When Thanos does that they've been setting up this whole time, when he does that in the comics, when he did that, it was just a flash of light, half of everyone's gone. It was like the Rapture, everyone's just gone. Here, you look around and Thanos just like, he fades away into like one of the space portals and he's gone. And it's like, everyone's still, who's gone? Everyone's still here. And then you see Bucky walking up. Cap, what's going on?
Yeah, like everyone
fading away into literal dust.
And it's like you slowly see one by one all of these characters that you grew to love over the movies.
You want to talk about how this did how this made 10 years worth of movies work? It's 10 years worth of, you really like these characters, right?
Bye-bye.
And again, we know the next film they're all coming back, but it's a movie. None of this is real to begin with, all right? The entire point of a movie is whether or not it can immerse you. Fuck, I was immersed in that scene.
It's like the one with Peter Parker and Tony Stark.
Dear God, I almost cried at that.
Oh, me too. That one was what killed me. It's like, that's when you realize, oh yeah, Peter's still just a little kid.
It's exactly what worked for me incredibly well in the last Spider-Man film, that moment in which he is trying to push the giant rubble off of him. And that's a scene from the comics, and in the comics, it's a famous scene in which he's pushing the rubble off. They even made the rubble look exactly like it did in the comics. He's trying to push it off, and he's like, no, I can't do it, no, gotta do it for Aunt May, have to get back to Aunt May. In the movie, he was like, help, someone, and like, that's a little kid in there. That kid is like, he's like 15, 16 years old. Someone help the little kid, and this, it's like, dude, this is out of Peter's pay grade. This is above his level. This is above Stark's level at this point. And we see Peter just crying, and he's like, I don't feel good.
And he's like hugging Tony, and it's like, he's basically his father in a way. Like,
yes! You're literally tearing up right now.
I know!
Not to call you out, I've done this before on these videos. But yeah, man, it is just, god damn, it hurts so much. Like, Rocket reaching out to Groot and Groot fading away. Like, man, I am a diehard Falcon fan. I know I'm the only one out there, but I love how, man, when Cap showed up in here and the audience applauded Cap showing up, Falcon came in right behind him and kicked Proxima Midnight to the ground. And I was like, I know everyone in here applauded Cap, but I want to be the one guy who applauds Falcon.
It's like, yeah! And then, woohoo!
And then one guy in the background. It's like, I know that they probably, but we're at the I would have done it in a normal theater, but we were in the Alamo Drafthouse, and they report you for making noise. And I was like, if I'm the only one applauding Falcon, I would be able to see the person next to me get their little note card, write my name on there. It's like, yeah, okay, just saying, this guy likes Falcon. There's something wrong with him. But when it gets to Falcon and he's fading away, and then you have Rhodey in the background. That's another thing that I love about this film. I've always said I wanted to see some stuff between Rhodey and Falcon, because in the cinematic universe, they're both not only military guys, they're both pilots. They're both not only were they both in the armed forces, they're both in the Air Force together. Shouldn't they have some kind of a bond? And I love that when they first finally come back to the Avengers headquarters and they see Rhodey there, I love that Rhodey actually specifically goes, Sam, he actually recognizes, yeah, okay, just that alone, let me know. When you guys were on the Avengers, you had something, you probably bonded of, what mission did you go on? I went on this mission. It's like, okay, this kind of stuff. I love that it was Rhodey who was going around looking for Sam, and I was just like, I like that they kind of, let us know they had a bond off camera. I know some people are going to go, well, we should have seen that bond. It's in my head, the fact that they both have such similar backstories, I can feel that in myself. This is a film where you don't need to get the backstory on everyone because you've gotten it in 18 other movies. But even in small instances like this, if you know these characters, if you pay attention to these films, you can fill in the stuff you haven't seen. This movie is what 10 years worth of 18 movies does well. It's what works. They pulled it off. I am amazed that this film, fuck man, they did it. That's all I gotta say. But, asterisk, there is a part 2. And I'm kind of mad because all this time I've been saying, man, okay, Black Panther was a film in which I was like, they need to get this right for many reasons. But aside from Black Panther, Infinity War is the one they needed to get right next after that. Because this was 10 years worth of movies all leading up to this. If they dropped the ball in this, fuck, man. Really? It was all, remember to drink your Ovaltine? That's what this all said? So I was watching, it's like, oh my god, they did it. They freaking did it. And there's one more movie, I'm like, oh, they could still screw it up. And I will say, in the end credits, I cheered. I literally, you saw me, I went, I didn't like say anything because like the audience was like, oh, what? So again, it was like, I don't want to be the one guy, yeah! But there's the moment at the end of this in which Maria Hill and Nick Fury are in a car together, and you see them get out, and you just see everyone fading around them.
Yep.
I was like, fuck, man. Again, it hurts. Like, Maria Hill wasn't even that big of a character in the other ones, but when she starts fading away, man, I even felt that. And you see Nick Fury start talking, I was like, okay, well, if Maria Hill wins, Nick's still here, and Nick always has a plan. Nick is now fading away. Fuck! The guy who always had the plan is fading away. But you see him saying out one last message, and his little beeper drops to the ground. It's like sending. And then in my mind, what I was thinking was going to happen is it would say, New Avengers Initiative, New Avengers Protocol initiated. And like the next film would be like, we get Luke Cage in there. We get like, you know, some of the other Defenders in there. We get like some new characters who we've like vaguely seen. Like maybe some of those people from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. pop up in there. Like we just get all the remaining guys, the scrappy guys who's like, yeah, we weren't the big guys who got movies, but we've been doing our part. Like we get them together. But no, what it says instead is it shows you Captain Marvel's symbol on it. And I lost my mind at that because I love Captain Marvel. But again, I've been saying all throughout this, if they had done this, it'd be good for the comic book fans, not really good for the movie fans. I've been saying that many times, and they never did that. They always did what was right for the movie fans. On this one, I do have to express concern, because as the comic book fan, I'm like, yes! But as the movie fan, I'm like, yeah, for all the people who don't read the comics, she's getting a movie between now and the next film. And it's taking place back in the 90s, and you're actually going to see like her relationship with Nick Fury being established back in the past. So you're going to get all the backstory on this. But I can understand movie-going audiences going into the next Avengers film being like, I've been following all these other characters for 10 years. This character just popped up and she's the one that saves the day. That don't quite feel right to me. That's now all going to depend on how Captain Marvel plays out. Because if Captain Marvel is as big as, like, say, Black Panther was, yeah, heck yeah, slam dunk, people will totally accept that. But, again, as a comic book fan, oh my god, Carol's coming, she's gonna kick all kinds of space ass. But the movie-going audience, I'm curious how they're going to feel about a brand new character who they have never seen before being the one that comes in to save the day in part 2. I'm curious how they're going to feel about that. Again, that depends on how the Captain Marvel movie itself is going to go. So now, in a way, I got 2 other films I'm now concerned about.
Yeah.
They need to now not only do a slam dunk with Captain Marvel, they need to now also slam dunk Infinity War Part 2. So,
yeah, there's a lot riding on these 2 movies.
It's like I've been holding in a breath for like 10 years now. Not even that, because we thought it was all going to end with Avengers number 1. So, like, I let that breath out at Avengers number 1, because with Avengers number 1, I was like, man, this is the one, they gotta nail this. They've nailed it. It's good. Thanos. Like, suck that right back in. And now, they was kind of the same with this one. I was like, oh my god, this is only one movie. They weren't lying. He's got all the gems. He's going to the big battle. Things are going to happen now. Oh my goodness. Suck it back in.
No, it's not really like it's like you held your breath and then just went a little. Yeah, just like a small breath came out, but you're still holding the rest of it in because there's 2 more movies to hold.
Just deflate. Which is kind of how I felt at the end of this film. Like, we didn't say a word to each other after we left the theater.
I don't know if anyone said anything after that.
It was just a long march of, oh god. Because yes, this is a movie that gets you so high. It gets you so up there, like, yes, it is happening. And you get like, man, there were people applying so many moments in here. They were applying like, there were 2 guys in there who freaked out when they went to Wakanda. And it was like, good for them. I'm glad they love Wakanda so much. And by the way, at the end of this thing, when people are fading away, in my mind, I was like, yeah, they're going to have all the, like, you got Winter Soldier fade. He's probably going to be, like, the biggest guy who fades away from all this. And then you see, like, Falcon fade away. Like, okay, he's, you know, I love Falcon, but I fully recognize where he is on, like, the food chain of the Marvel films. Like, he's going to fade away now, too. It's like, it's going to be all the smaller characters. I get that. And then you see Black Panther run up to Okoye. I was like, he's going to reach for Okoye, and Okoye's hand is going to fade away. He reaches for Okoye, and his hand starts fading away. Oh, anyone can go, because he was a big fucking deal. He was huge, which, granted, in all fairness, they filmed this before Black Panther came out, and it was the massive monster of a hit that it was. I can see if they waited an extra year to film this thing after that came out, I could see them doing a reshoot, which is like, yeah, we gotta keep that dude in there. But, yeah, even then, I don't know, because Spidey goes, too.
Yeah.
And like Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy shit. Like, all these people who you thought, no, they're gonna stick around. It's like, no, they ain't. This film lets you know at the end of this, no one was safe. Like, it was random. This was not a producer in a room going, well, who are the expendable ones? Who are the people we really need to see charging in here? At the end, it's like, no, they went, it almost feels like they flipped freaking coins on this one. They're like,
or like threw names at a dartboard, or like threw darts at a name.
Yeah, they were like, okay, Cap, Thor, and Tony have to survive because they're important to how the story plays out in the end. Everyone else, bing, nope, bing, nope, bing. Hey, Okoye, way to go, bing. Hey, M'Baku, way to go. With M'Baku, I like had money on him not lasting through this thing, because when he popped up here at the end, I was like, it really feels almost like he showed up at the end, almost as like an extra scene they shot, like, because M'Baku was a smash hit in the film. People loved M'Baku, and it felt almost like they included him here at the end because they were like, yeah, you know what, you did so well, we're gonna shoot some extra scenes just to get you in this film. But then in my mind, I was just like, what if they brought him in here because he was loved, so that way if they killed him off, it would be a really emotional gut punch to all those people who love him. No, man, M'Baku makes it. T'Challa is the one who's gone. Which I'm hoping Shuri survived. We didn't see her.
Yeah.
I want her back in here with her Panther gauntlets. Oh, man. Which, again, it's great seeing all these characters who we have not seen, like, interacting. Like, seeing Shuri actually communicate with Bruce Banner. It's just like, why didn't you just do this? Oh, well, it's like, I'm sure you tried your best. It's like, I love how, like, politely dismissive she is of like, yeah, let the real scientists do things. I love that a 16-year-old girl is like the smartest person in the Marvel universe.
So I also find it interesting, like, how Bruce, like, eventually, like, had trouble, like, hulking out.
Oh, we haven't even talked about that.
No.
To me, I think the reason why is the Hulk has never been scared before.
No, it's like he was literally invincible, but now with Thanos, he's actually found, like, someone who can defeat him.
Beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. So now he's, like, scared to come out, and I think that's the reason why.
Yeah, exactly, and I love that it's like, okay, Bruce has to step up then.
Yeah.
Bruce has to be the hero, which in the comics there have been moments where Bruce, like, fully took over the Hulk, and, like, the Hulk even spoke with, like, Bruce's voice in his mind. I kind of want that to be the thing that happens. I want them to, like, come to an understanding, like, him to go on, like, maybe he even, like, while he's in Wakanda, he eats some of that, like, you know, heart-shaped herb, and he goes on, like, the spiritual journey, which, granted, they destroyed all the heart-shaped herbs, but they probably have other ways to get people to, like, go on a spiritual journey. He goes on, like, some journey, actually communicates with the Hulk, and, like, maybe he comes out and, like, Bruce Banner is gone forever, but now the Hulk is there with Bruce Banner's voice, something like that. I think that could be cool, but honestly, I think it's going to be a thing where he finds out that Betty is gone. I think he finds out Betty is one of the people who died. Who was wiped out with this. And I think, I'm picturing there's got to be like some line where they're all going up against Thanos, and Bruce Banner is down on the ground, he's beaten, he ain't getting back up, and then you just hear Thanos say something like, how can you hope to challenge the strongest one there is? And then you just hear from behind him a big green burst of energy. Something like that. Again, I'm writing fanfic for the next film. Man, fuck. I feel like I keep starting points that I want to finish, and then I just go into the next thing, because there's so many goddamn cool things to talk about in here. I'm honestly trying to think of complaints that I have with this film. They didn't give his henchmen nearly enough, like, I don't even want to say personality, I don't want to say screen time, but they didn't give them enough to make them more memorable than just henchmen, other than cool looks. Right. Except for Ebony Maw. I think that dude was good.
Yeah.
That was the dude who was like a preacher who thought like Thanos was God.
Yeah.
Like, you have all been welcomed into the light of Thanos. I was like, I actually kind of dig him. Like, he actually fits this whole Mad Titan thing.
Yeah, the other ones, no.
And it's a shame because I really like Proxima Midnight in the comics. And in here, she doesn't even have her, like, she has her javelin, but she loses it. In the comics, she has a javelin that never misses. She can throw that at anything, and it's going to hit it. I was like, you could do some cool shit with that, like Cap's shield, or like Hawkeye's arrows if you want to bring him in, but Hawkeye's waiting for the next film. Yeah, man, which, man, that's making me think, who else do they kind of pull in here? Like, get Wasp in here? Like, maybe Scott Lang died, and now Wasp is in there.
Yeah, like now that you mention, like they always say Ant-Man. They mention Ant-Man, but they don't really. He's not in this.
They mention Clinton Scott. They mention them very quickly,
Yeah.
and they say that they took plea deals to save their families from this. And like, okay, that's understandable.
Yeah.
I could see them doing this after this. But yeah, and I do know this has been a news story that broke. In the comics, Scott's daughter, when she got older, she became a member of a team called the Young Avengers. Like, she got pin particles herself and learned how to grow. She even, she learned how to grow. Then when she lost the ability to grow, she learned how to shrink, and she became like a wasp-like character called Stinger. They have announced that for Ant-Man 2, that's coming out in like just a couple months, they have recast the daughter to be someone older. So it has me thinking, again, what if Scott like goes away? What if Scott is one of the people who fades away, and they're like, we gotta get every other hero we can, and like now this older daughter of his, who is still like a teenager, a young Avenger, if you will, which is the name of the team she joined, if she like finds the pin particles and like creates something herself, and like, okay, I can see stuff. Again, fanfics for the future. Sorry. But yeah, we do know that Hawkeye is gonna be in the next one. They have confirmed that. They haven't said anything about Ant-Man. And they also have said that the Defenders won't be in there. And it's like, man, come on. You know we all wanted to see like the TV stuff cross over into the movie stuff. And again, I understand if you don't want to have them cross over in a big way, like have them there fighting Thanos at the end.
Does it have like a cameo or?
What I want so bad is there's a moment in the I want this so bad. There's a moment in the comics that is one of Captain America's most famous moments. It's when they all stage the big attack on Thanos after he has wiped out half the galaxy. All the remaining heroes go in there, and Cap is literally the last one standing. All the other ones get murdered, and he just goes, as long as one person is still standing against you, you still haven't won. As long as one person still fights. I want him to give that speech, and while he's giving the speech, they just cut to like a montage of like Thanos' forces invading the world, and you see the Defenders fighting him off in New York. You see Ghost Rider from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in Los Angeles fighting him off. Like, hell, get the Runaways in there for a quick shot. They kind of exist in this cinematic universe. I don't know. Cloak and Dagger will be on TV by then. Have them pop up for a second. Hell, you've got other people and just have them pop up for a quarter of a second. Yeah, like that's what I want. Like, again, I understand if it's like, all the movie-going people know these characters, know the movie characters. We can't introduce the TV characters. I get that. But a montage just to let all the people at home go, yeah, okay, they're there, cool. Yes, it all exists together. We see them fighting off Thanos in their own way. That, again, fanfics. I should just do a top 10 video of things I want in a next Avengers film. So, man, anything else? We should talk about the fact that Valkyrie isn't in this. Because every single Asgardian gets killed. Except there is one quick line that they say like half of them were killed. So I'm like, okay, Valkyrie could still be okay. And we do know that Asgardians can survive in space. So in my mind, she's still all right. But, you know, it's one of those, it's comic book logic. Anybody who reads comics knows this. You can say they're dead if we don't see the body, they're still alive. We see Heimdall getting stabbed. We see Loki get choked the fuck out. And I like that he actually turns blue at the end, like he reverts back to his regular state. Letting you know this time was for real. And that was great that he gets taken out as well, because, yeah, man, it's the guy who always like, nah, no matter how many times you kill me, it was all part of my plan. Oh, fuck, no, this is not part of the plan. But also, like, he finally kind of got his redemption arc. He finally like, no, I finally have become a good guy. I finally made it with my brother, and I was the one who kind of started the Avengers off. The fact that you now take out the first threat that they had after he finally gets the arc is like, man, that's just the great place to do it. But yeah, we see that happen. We see Hulk get blasted back to Earth. Korg, listen, I love Korg, but he ain't returned. We all know that. But Valkyrie, we don't see anywhere, and in my mind, she's still alive. So I would love to see her pop up in the next film as well. Because I know that people are concerned about that. Again, if you don't see the body, there's still a chance. But it would have been cool if they had fit her in here. I do kind of have a problem with the fact that, like, have her and Thor and Rocket and Groot be the ones that go to the Forge. Which I actually don't think they went to the Forge. And, you know, it's kind of... I know some people are going to be like, well, at the end of Thor Ragnarok, the whole point was he didn't need his hammer. All that power that was in the hammer was in him the whole time. Yes, the reason he goes to the Forge is he goes, my power isn't enough, make me something better. So, and that's what he does. He makes a hammer that actually has the power of the Bifrost in there.
It's an axe, actually.
It's an axe, yes. But yeah, as I said, the thing that makes this movie work so well, and also is the thing that makes me go, I don't want to watch this again until the next one comes out. And like right before the next one comes out, like there will be some screenings out there that do that.
Yeah.
You know it. I'm going to have to do that because I can't. It's so depressing at the end of this.
Yes.
And I mentioned, like, you know, I kind of started some beef there in the middle of this, talking to the DC fans, and I was like, no, man, this is how you do serious. This is how you do dark. This is how you do really heavy, depressing stories. You give people toys that they like, and then you break them, like, in the worst way. And, yeah, again, it's just the fact that everyone is just fading away. But even when, not just everyone fading away, but it's the fact that people have plans in this. Mm-hmm. They have the plan of how to stop Thanos. And man, those plans involve sacrifices. And nah, man, it's all for nothing. Like the fact that Scarlet Witch has to actually kill the man she loves. She has to do it. They tried, it didn't work. This is the only other option. She does it, and there's just time gem, reverse. And then he kills Vision. It's like, Vision still dies, and he now has all gems. Like, your sacrifice meant nothing.
Vision died twice.
Yes. In a row. Mm-hmm. And the second time he dies, his body just turns gray, and it's like, nothing's bringing him back. Mm-hmm. That actor does not want to get in that suit again. Like, we keep talking about how, oh yeah, you could probably bring pretty much every... Gamora could totally be brought back at the end of this when they do undo everything with the Infinity Stone. Vision ain't coming back. That one is one of those like, no, you can't recreate that machine. That was a once-in-a-lifetime creation. He's gone. So, yeah, it's that fact that this movie, every time it gives you hope, is just so they can take it away. Mm-hmm. And I love that this film, it ends with Thanos getting that sunrise. We don't see the Avengers going, what's our plan now? Like, what do we do now? It ends with Thanos looking at that sunrise he was waiting on. And if you stay through the credits, it just says, Thanos will return, not the Avengers will return. And I was like, this really is treated like Thanos' movie. Like, if you look at it as Thanos' film, he lost the thing that was precious to him, but he succeeded in the end, and he got his goal. This was Thanos' version of saving the universe by wiping out half of everyone in the universe. Yeah, man, this is a Thanos film. This is the film where it's like, nah, man, he won. That's what happened at the end of this. And when you look at it like that, all the moments of hope you feel for the heroes is the equivalent of all those moments of dread that you would feel in a normal Marvel film of, oh my goodness, the villain has now got this big, the villain got an ultimate weapon and the villain has this master plan. No, the heroes came there. Oh my god, the heroes are about to win by making this ultimate sacrifice. Nope, Thanos comes through and the end. It's like, god damn, man, it is insane how this got flipped. And again, I gotta repeat this, so I've seen, I don't know why, but when I really like a film, I go on Rotten Tomatoes and look at the negative reviews just to see what people didn't like about this thing. And I saw one guy just going, it's like, it's nothing but just crazy explosions. And they actually said, it's very scary for the future of movies. And I went, go fuck yourself, you pretentious dick. Like, this is insane to me that somebody would look at this and think that. Like, you can look at this and not like it. Mm-hmm. But somebody who looks at this and just goes, it's crazy, this is scary for the future of films, like, why? Because it did something new? Because it did something that other movies don't? It's almost like, I don't know, movies can be more than one goddamn thing. It's crazy to me that, like, so many people out there who don't like superhero films because, oh, there's nothing different to them. This is something different from movies. Not different from superhero films, from film in general, and they're still just like, oh, well, it's too different. No, it's not a thing that I've seen before. It's like, oh, fuck yourself. You just don't like a thing that has people in capes in there.
It's like, first you complain about, like, superhero movies being all the same. Then when they do something different, it's like, oh, I don't like this. Like,
God, what's that one dude who hates everything popular? God, the movie fans out there know who I'm talking about. Armin White, that's his name. Dude, like the guy who like everybody first started to notice when he became the one guy who gave Get Out a bad review. Like, he was the guy who broke the 100% streak that it had going on Rotten Tomatoes. Mm-hmm. And then with Black Panther, he was like one of the only people who hated that. because he was like, oh, it pretends to be about something important. It's like, no, it's actually has like, it stops and is about something important. And it was like, man, I cannot wait to read his review on this thing. Oh, God. Also, I gotta say, like, at the end of this film, when everybody is teaming up to go into the big fight, I do actually love that they brought in the joke that people have literally been making since the first Guardians of the Galaxy film.
Yeah.
You know the joke I'm talking about. Literally since the first Guardians of the Galaxy film came out, people have been making the joke of, Avengers are fighting Thanos. Rocket, what do you need? I need that guy's arm. And it just cuts to,
Bucky, yeah.
Bucky. I was like, everyone's been making that joke. He makes the joke and he was like... It's like, even if we all saw it coming, it's one of those things where if you don't make it, then we're gonna be pissed. Like, sometimes a joke does work even if you see it coming, and it's those times when it's like, how can you not make this joke? Yeah, even like the fact that Thor gets a new eye because it's one that Rocket stole from someone. I was like, yeah, that works from someone else as well. But yeah, I love that the crazy team-ups in here. That's like the one thing that I'll say Whedon kind of does better than the Russo brothers, is he knows how to have big, crazy superhero fights that all kind of like flow. Mm-hmm. Whereas these are like, we're at this thing, this thing's happening, now this thing is happening. Like, it really does feel like he's going from like one thing to the next. Whereas with the Whedon action films, it feels more like one thing just flowing into the next.
Yeah, I guess so, but like, I'm kind of glad for this one they did one thing after another, because there are just so many characters.
Like I said, even though I think that Whedon does that thing better, for this it kind of works better.
Yeah, like, I'm just thinking, like, if Whedon did this and just like imagine trying to like keep up with like all the characters on one screen, that'd be like way too much.
It was kind of overblown. It was kind of overload with Age of Ultron when you just add 3 new Avengers to the fight, and it was like, yeah, this is even kind of a little too much for this one shot. Excuse me. So yeah, I think it actually works better in this one. Like, the Russo brothers were the perfect guys for this. And I think the screenplay writers were even the same people from Winter Soldier and Civil War. So it's like, those 4 people that they have, they got it. They got the recipe for this. And again, I love that this film gets so dramatic. And even though there's tons of jokes, all the jokes are in the right places. Like, dramatic moments are never broken up with a joke. There's emotional moments that are broken up with a joke. Like the emotional moment between Gamora and Star-Lord. Mm-hmm. That gets broken up with a joke. With Drax there, that joke is great. But like, Thanos killing Gamora, a like heartbreaking moment. There's no joke after that. Like, Nebula doesn't crack a joke when Peter dies. Nothing like that. Which, by the way, God, I put out there on Twitter, I said, here's my not death wish. Here's my Deadpool. These are the characters who I think are going to die in here. And I laid out like 8 characters. I got Loki. Everybody got Loki. That was like a one and done for everyone. I got no one else. I got all 7 of my other ones were wrong. Like, not including who fades away at the end of this, because that doesn't count. Then I got pretty much everyone. But yeah, I was like, Iron Man is definitely dying, and there comes that moment where it looks like it happens. Although, again, like, I was holding on till the end. There's got to be a way for them to defeat Thanos. And when he unloads on Thanos, and you see he gets one cut on him, and you went, all that for a single drop of blood. Tony has nanomachines. I really thought he was going to, like, grab Thanos' face and, like, inject the nanomachines into that one cut. I still wouldn't be shocked if that comes up.
Maybe.
If that's a thing that comes up.
But, like I noticed that, like,
Yes, Siri, do you have something you want to say? Sorry. Go on.
It's like, I noticed, like, as Iron Man was fighting Thanos, his armor kept getting...
It was fading away.
It was fading away. I mean, like, he had the technology to, like, have it reproduced, but, like, there's only so many nanomachines, because, like, you start to notice, like, when he, like...
It was getting stretched thin.
Yeah, it was getting stretched thin. It was, like, when he, like, built up, like, a giant fist to punch, like, one of the, like, part of his armor would, like, fade away in order to make up for that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, that was one of those things I was like, yeah, man, this is Tony's last stand, and the fact that he even gets, like, stabbed in there, and Doctor Strange, like, gives him the gem, which I guarantee you, like, you're talking about how, like, the heroes weren't willing to make sacrifices, and, I mean, yeah, that is great in comparison to Thanos on this. Like, that's a great thing to, like, compare. I didn't even think about that. But at the end of that way, he goes, this was the only way. I still think they're on that 1 out of a 4 million possible futures they saw. Like, I think it's like, no. This is the part of the plan I didn't tell you. We had to lose this so we could win in the end.
Right.
Like, that's what I think this is going to be. So I think they're still on that path.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, Tony I thought was going, so the fact that he doesn't, but I still think he's going to die in the next one. Him and Steve, I think, are both going out. Because Chris Evans even confirmed Avengers 4 is his last movie with them. So I think, but I said for this one, I thought Tony was going. I thought Nebula was going, which when we see her getting dissected, I was like, I call this one. Oh no, shoot, she's still around. Drax, I said, was a long shot, but I thought it was still possible in there. I can't even remember. Nick Fury was one I said would probably go, so when he didn't even pop up until the end credit scene, you know, which again, the fact that he started the end credit scene and he's now here for the end credit scene, like, man, that's actually some great symmetry there. But yeah, so he didn't go. Falcon, I said, probably was going to go because they needed to kill someone to make Steve feel like really upset, and they weren't going to take out Bucky right after he came back. I like the fact that they gave Bucky a new codename. They gave him the name White Wolf.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Laura Kinney still going by X-23. It's kind of like any character out there who they had a codename when they were a brainwash murder machine working for the bad guys. And he was like, no, I've broken free and I'm a good guy. I'm still going to use the codename I used as a brainwash murder machine. Why? That's never made sense to me. And the codename White Wolf actually does tie into Black Panther. Because in the Black Panther comics, Black Panther actually has an adopted brother who actually is white. So everyone called him the White Wolf, and he eventually became the head of security for, not the Dora Milaje, because they're all the female warriors, but, like, basically their Black Ops team, the Hatut Zarazi.
Their White Ops team.
Kind of. Actually, they do all wear white. They're all dressed as White Panthers, is what they're dressed as, but, yeah, and his codename was the White Wolf, so I dig this idea that Bucky, even if there's no more Captain America films, he'll be sticking around in the Black Panther films, and he'll become the head of their security as the White Wolf. So that's a theory, again, for the future. But yeah, I was throwing out all these ideas, and the ones that die in here are Loki, we all call that, and Gamora, and Vision. Which Vision we saw in the trailers, but I didn't think that was going to actually happen, because I was like, no, that's a tease. That's a tease. They wouldn't have him kill him if they actually showed him, like, having the Mind Stone taken out in the trailer. No. And it is a rough death. And Gamora, did not see it coming. But again, I think that one's getting undone. Loki and Vision, not getting undone. But Gamora, totally possible. But yeah, man, if she does die for real and she doesn't come back, it's insane to me. Like, part of me wants to even be mad if that was a real death, because it's like, man, Gamora had, like, her own story, her own, like, thing going on, and she doesn't get, like, a heroic death going out, but at the same time, that's what this entire movie is about. The heroes don't get their moment. Every time you think the hero gets their moment, Thanos crushes that. Like, that's the point of this. That's the point of this entire film. It's like, this is, like, one of those few times in which I can look at a character, at a hero, like, being murdered just, like, as an afterthought almost. Like, it's not as an afterthought, but, like, a hero being murdered without getting their moment. This is one of the few times in which I can look at that and not be mad about. Because goddamn, it works. It really does. It works for what this film is. There's other things to talk about in here, but I'm blanking, and I am so beat.
Yeah. Like, between the movie marathon and, like, the emotional drain this movie had on us, we're just...
The movie marathon made this more emotional drain.
Yeah.
Again, I thought the movie marathon was going to backfire on me and be like, oh god, no, I'm so sick of Marvel films right now. The movie marathon was the equivalent of when your dad catches you smoking and he's like, here, smoke this entire carton. And I'm like, no, it paid off here at the end. Because, yeah, man, like I said, just the one shot of him and Pepper, I was like, I just flashed back to the very first Iron Man film. Fuck. Yeah, and so many other little things that, like, I picked up on here. And, like, not, like, specific lines they're commenting on, but just, like, small things of, like, Iron Man talking about, like, the nightmares he's been having ever since Thanos came down. I was like, yeah, man, Iron Man 3, that's what that was. It's like, shit. All right, so, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We do have the official review coming up tomorrow, which will be way shorter than this. I am tempted to get other people together, like maybe call in some of the anime guys that we had on that episode, because they're all comic book fans as well, get their opinions on this. I know some other people I can call in. I want to do a giant-ass roundtable on this, but I think I should hold off till next year. Hold out till next year, see what the next film is. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Come back next time. I'm just gonna sit here and stare off. I'm not even gonna put up there like the end title card I normally do. I'm just gonna stare off into the distance here for 20 seconds.
Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata playing in the background, just with a slow zoom in on your face as everything turns black and white.
Bye.
Bye.